down to that league and everybody found themselves again. You know what I'm saying? Without messing with them drugs, without doing this, everybody, and they enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and we tried to put them in rehabs and stuff like that just to get them right.
Okay.
And then me and Mark had a sit down, and I was like, man, we're not making a difference right now. These dudes are still struggling. So I said, what if we go to the root of the problem? And he was like, the root of the problem? I said, what if we start working with these kids? Now, by this time, I was already working with Lamont Stewart and Lil Dion and all them little ruffians that was Creon. All these dudes were supposed to be gangbangers, but they not. They sitting up here. They want to do something else. And I was already in the process of working with them. So me and Mark got together and Lou, and we was like, okay, well, let's switch reels. Let's get these youngsters, train them up, and start putting them in leagues all over. We wasn't an AAU team. We wasn't Slam and Jam and K&E Bulls. We was just a bunch of locals.
Yeah.
And but the East Side breed the best ball players.
Yes, it does.
The East Side breed the best ball players.
Man.
And my brother Tiny can contest to it because we made Tiny lead the West Side. Now he's based right here in the East Side behind Washington Park. He knew them West Side boys was okay. But they didn't have that grit like these East Side boys. And I had a bunch of different dudes. They athletes, but they don't have no structure or nothing. So all we did was put a little structure together.
That's it.
Took our little lumps that first year, you know, because now we learning. We in the process of learning. Man, you talking about 360?
Yeah.
The next year, nobody want to play us. Ralph Jordan, my buddy Ralph Jordan, he ran the park. He was a major leaguer in Parks and Recs on the West Side. And Ralph, every time we got there, he said, "Oh, here come them Raid Dogs." Because he know we coming to bring. We don't back down off nobody. We ain't backing down. We don't care who you got. You know, you could have this player. He's number one in AAU. Okay, get him out in front of us. And we tear him up. And then we took the show on the road. You know, we said, let's give these kids the same opportunity as some kids that's spending all that money got.
Man, and y'all did it too. Y'all been doing it for years.
You look at this here. It was somebody that was doing that for you.
Oh yeah.
And as you got older, you started doing that for some of these other kids.
That's right. Mr. Johnson, Hank Johnson, he took it upon himself. You played on the team with him. David Lilly played on our team. His son played on the team. And my boy played on the team. We all got on the team. He took us to Golden State and play in these little leagues. Then Alvin Wills turned around and took us to all these different leagues.
All these different leagues, yes.
You know, and it exposed us to the outside, and it changed us. It changed us. So, you know, what I told my boys, I said, man, look, let's take these kids to show them other things. Get them off this small picture tube of the hood.
Amen.
You know, we got them off the small picture tube of the hood, and we took them to a place they never seen snow before. They running up the mountains.
And you know what? It's like this here, man, and I'm thinking about it. As a man give his time, his life, and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we need to give that man something.
Amen. Yes, by giving back.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna pull together and do something and give it just for you. You know what I'm saying? Man. Because it take a lot.
It take a lot, and you've been doing a lot.
It take a lot, man.
All the brothers know what you've been doing. And
one big blessing of a story,
what you've been doing with them kids.
We ended up, had a Vegas trip, and all the West Side and everybody bagged out. Now, I've already, see me, when I promise something, I don't care what, I'm determined to make sure we get this to happen. We had 2 squads, and they were small everywhere. One of them was an Army brat that played with white kids and didn't know how to, until he got in the gym with us. When he got in the gym with us, that kid flourished. I had some of the kids from Fremont, some of the kids from Crenshaw, some of the kids, man, I had kids from all over. So I had a minivan, had a gas card, had these kids, for 7 days, I said, well, if y'all can come up with $75, man, we're going to be in Vegas for 7 days, sleeping, eating, the whole 9 yards. I got 13 kids. I told them if they had, half the kids didn't even pull $75.
Man.
Get in the van. Get in the van. I maxed out my gas card, but we made it up there and back. We ended up playing in the championship game against Chris Burgess who ended up going to Duke, Little Zach and Chris Johnson. These dudes went to major colleges, but Lute Olson, the Grambling coach, they ran after these kids after that championship game. We beat the brakes off of Clovis West.
Okay.
Played Clovis West in the championship game. Beat the brakes off. And the kid, Jason Sanders, was the MVP of the tournament. The kid, he ended up going to leaving to another base in Virginia and becoming a Virginia State Player of the Year. Wow. And they come running out of the gym. Now we thinking, what do we do? Because they didn't know we was from South Central until they talked to the kids.
Right.
Because we banged these kids up and taught them how to be their mannerism changes when we get outside the hood.
Right.
And man, nobody ever knew they was from South Central LA.
Right.
Well, you know what?
Luke came out there, man. He said, "Where are these kids from?" Oh, they all from LA.
But you know what? The way they was acting is the way their leader was, and you was leading them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, showing them something that some of them will never see again. Maybe we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because out of that group, it's always might one or two that might fall to the wayside. But when they look back over their life, they can say, I enjoyed that part of my life, like we do.
Like we did and we do.
Like we sit here and we talk about Russell and we talk about Drew.
And our traveling teams we had and all of that. Yeah.
They may be doing that same thing, but somebody had to put out.
Yeah.
Take time out their life and get that back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, man? Yeah. So it ain't easy. Sometimes you can spend one weekend coaching one team. After you get coaching that game,
drained.
Man, you drained. I'm telling you, man. Don't lose it. See like it messed the whole day up. You know what I'm saying? I win and feel like I'm good. I'm feeling good. Man, you end up losing the game. It's just like, man, my whole day just ain't right.
No,
because I want,
you
know, you just dealing with these kids, you want them to win, you know?
Yeah.
So, man, if you doing that and you coaching track too, coaching, you know, just a variety of kids.
It was beautiful though, man.
And you want to see everybody do good.
Yeah, that's right there. We want to see that. I always want to see that transformation. It's like when you're building your blocks. You know, and you're putting it together. It ain't gonna shine until you get it all together.
That's right.
And that's what coaching is.
Right.
You can take a raw piece of clay. It's just a piece of clay. But once you start molding it and putting it together, turns it into a beautiful work of art.
Amen.
And these kids, man, they so appreciative. And that's all I wanted.
Yeah.
Them to make it to the next level of life.
Right.
You know, and a lot of them flourished. A lot of them went to the NBA. A lot of them played in the NFL. You know, and they always hit me back.
Yeah.
Coach, remember?
That's
remember,
right. That's right. They remember that.
Well, God done gave you something, man. So every man can't do it.
No.
That's right.
We had that saying in football, too. You know, every man can't play football.
That's right.
They built for everybody.
That's right.
So, man, and just hearing you talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, you know, and just the analogies you putting together.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not something you can just think of right off the cuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That stuff got to be embedded in you,
It got to
man.
be embedded.
You know what I'm saying?
Mark was a big part of that, man. He was our president, my brother, you know. Yeah. I remember he was taking care of all the finance. Whatever money I would raise, give it to Mark. Mark make sure the rooms were available for the kids. The tournament was taken care of. Even the first meal on the dogs. You know, we coming out of pocket, but you know the kids, man, they had fun. They had kid fun, and that's what I was trying to bring back to our neighborhoods. Because kids, man, I got in the car with a bunch of kids.
Where you was trying to bring it back to?
Our neighborhoods.
That's right.
Because everybody was running off, leaving our kids behind.
Amen.
You know, and when I connected with my brother Doc from the West Side. You know, I was bringing in kids from every hood you can think of.
Right.
And I was bringing in G's to help.
Wow.
And, you know, one story that touches all of our hearts, all the coaches remember this. Michael Horman, y'all know Michael Horman's daddy. Michael Horman, a senior, grew up in the neighborhood. He's still Bill's nephew. And Tommy Bates' nephew.
Okay.
He's their nephew. And Michael Horman was one of the most aggressive, talented kids I put on the floor.
Right.
He was all hard. He was always hard.
Yeah.
And, you know, because, he had issues the parents wasn't doing well.
Right.
You know, we're not going to go into their business, but they wasn't doing well, and it was a reflection on him. That's why he was always angry. So nobody really wanted to work with Mike.
Right.
So Dino say, well, let Twan take it.
Who said it?
Dino.
There go Dino. Dino coming up again.
The dreamer.
Dino said, let Twan take it. Twan can handle it.
Wow.
So Mike got over there with us, and he had that same old angry attitude, But we got this little thing in our house called Big Dogs, and I have probably over 20,000 kids. The first thing they ask me when they talk to me, Coach, you still doing them big dogs? Man, they hated big dogs.
Huh?
They hated big dogs. But that was my area to get their attention.
Okay.
And we police ourselves.
Right.
We police ourselves. That teaches them how to be leaders.
Yeah, that's right.
They start policing each other. Man, don't do that because we're going to get them big dogs. And I tell you right now today, any Ray dog call, I got Ray dogs that's over 40 years old.
Wow.
Deion Williams, Maney's son, played for Denver Nuggets and played all over the place. He played for me since he was, 9 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. And Deion, first day, Freddie Lee played for Washington State, football. And the first thing they all ask you, I say, man, them big dogs. Them big dogs. Because what I did, everybody Alvin taught us suicides. Remember suicide?
Yeah. Suicide.
Alvin taught us suicide.
Yeah.
So I said, we're going to high altitude play.
Right.
So that's why I came up with the big dog.
Okay.
I said, we got to go to this high altitude play. So we got to be able to, our lungs got to be strong enough to play the way we play.
Right.
We're pressing run. We ain't going to use that talent. We're going to use that talent, And man, the first time I gave them dudes big dogs, they said, what is that? I said, that's a big dog. They do a suicide.
Yeah.
And at the end of the suicide, they got to do 3 hard sprints right after. They don't stop. They finish that suicide, then they got to go wall.
Man.
Oh, man, them dudes started bracing it after a while.
Wow.
They started, because, that's that
They
fire,
building it up.
that they getting ready. See, and as a coach, you know what you got.